This week, we follow Rick as he heads back down the road to hunt the coastal black bear of the Queen Charlotte Islands, British Columbia. Get ready, because it all starts now. Previously on Down the Road, Rick traveled to British Columbia in search of the coastal black bear with Kevin Olmsted of Prophet Musquaw. The trip was great and the hunting lived up to its outstanding reputation, except Rick went home empty-handed without his bear. Even though he had several opportunities, it just seemed the luck wasn't on his side. Spotting bear wasn't the problem for Rick and his guide Carl, but getting into bow range and then getting the right bear in bow range seemed to be a little more difficult. After several stalks with his bow, Rick decided to change it up and go for the rifle in hopes of taking his trophy home.
We're easing down this logging road right here. We got a big boar and a sow right down, so we're gonna just try to slip down, get a little bit closer. It looks like a shooter for sure. You tell me when, both of you.
Well, we're back here in camp, and it's gonna be a long night. So we knocked that bear down right as it was getting kind of late, and he got off in some really thick, nasty stuff, real swampy down in there. So we figured it best to come back to camp, regroup, go back in the morning. I hate doing that, hate it more than anybody, but there is a time and a place for it, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll go back in the morning. Hopefully he'll be just right down there below. Carl's confident. I wish I was as confident as him, but we'll see.
After reviewing the footage back at camp and determining that the shot was in fact non-fatal, Rick and Carl's years of hunting and guiding experiences brought them back the next morning to search for the bear. Hours spent searching and finding little or no trace of the one that seemed to have gotten away. Rick promised that he would one day return to the islands, and that's exactly what brings us back. Today, Rick is getting a second chance at getting an arrow in a trophy coastal black bear.
Well, I'm back here on the Queen Charlotte Islands. Glad to be here. Didn't have any idea I was going to be back so soon. It's been haunting me ever since I left, that I left here without a bear, but knowing that everybody else in camp got a good bear while I was here, it sure made me even that much more excited about coming back, and I just couldn't live with myself knowing that I didn't have one. So called Kevin Olmsted and worked it out to get back up here right quick. Carl headed back over to the mainland, but here today with Tom Gotthard. He's going to be taking me hunting for the next few days. And so, Tom, just tell me a little bit about what you got on your mind, what the plan is for the next couple of days.
Well, today we're going to hunt the salt flats here on Moresby Island, and then we'll go check out some of the river bottoms where the bears kind of hang out. And then theoretically we should be done, but if not, tomorrow we're going to go to the north coast and check out some salt flats over there.
Well, that sounds good to me. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. I kind of want to get this done quickly, but I'm very optimistic. Like I said, glad to be back. We're going to hunt a little different country than what I hunted last time. And, you know, I believe we're going to get it done, but we got a few days to work on it if we need to. But I kind of like that idea about shooting a bear right quick and doing a little bit of the halibut fishing while I'm here.
That would be a good plan. Halibut's always good.
I like that. So, But we're going to go get after them a little bit, see if we can't find one right away. And like I said, glad to be back here, and I think we're going to have a good time.
Stay tuned. When we return, we'll join Rick and Tom in their quest for the coastal black bear of the Queen Charlotte Islands. Down the Road with Rick Rhodes is being brought to you by Brunton, Primus, Zook Log Cabins, Deadly Decoys, Outdoor Edge Knives, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Molson Lake Lodge, Nichols Marine, Triton Boats, and by Backroads Outfitting. Backroads Outfitting specializes in providing only high-quality, high-success hunts for New Mexico elk and mule deer, Texas pronghorns, and Kansas and Oklahoma trophy whitetails. Come see for yourself why so many hunters return year after year to the exclusive private ranches of Backroads Outfitting. Visit backroads.com today and let success be your tradition.
Hi, I'm Brandon Bates. You know, we hunters appreciate the animals that we pursue in a way that non-hunters will just never understand. We also protect their habitat. That's why the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation alone has conserved more than 5.5 million acres of prime elk country and torn down over 600,000 acres of no trespassing signs. But we're losing vital habitat every day and we need your help. If you haven't gotten on board yet, you ought to. Call 1-800-CALL-ELK or visit elkfoundation.org.
Introducing the most advanced, efficient predator on the water today, Triton's new XS series. Stalk your prey with hot new features like a solid-state fuseless stash with push-button start and support for 10-inch depth finders, and new bow control with support for 8-inch depth finders. Prowl the deep with our most advanced drivability, maximum comfort, and an incredible hole shot. The new XS by Triton.
Always wanted a cabin but thought you couldn't afford it? ZookLogCabins.com builds fully assembled cabins handcrafted in our shop, delivered to you ready to use in just 40 to 70 days. 8 different cabin styles from 150 to 1,300 square feet with tons of options to make it your own. So if you're looking for a hunting cabin, rental investments, or a primary residence, ZookLogCabins.com will give you the retreat you need. Go to www.ZookLogCabins.com for details and pricing.
Tips from the Road, brought to you by Molson Lake Lodge, where pure serenity to pure mayhem is just one cast away.
What I have here today is something you can't forget to take on any outdoors trip or hunt, and that's your backpack. You can take so many different things you need and so many things you want, it's really up to you. But if you need some suggestions, we can look in my dad's pack. A rangefinder, some hearing protection, a basic travel first aid kit, fire starting kit, lighters, waterproof matches, and fire starter, field dressing gloves and a Ziploc baggie, multiple different kinds of knives, 2 or 3 bottles of water, which is good to stay hydrated in the field. And for those cold days, hands and toe warmers, granola bars, wipies for the obvious and the, well, not so obvious, different lengths of rope and bungee cord, a saw, wool gloves. These are great since they're insulating whether they're wet or not. Flagging material. Glow sticks are great for marking trails and down game, but don't forget to take headlamps and flashlights. All these things can be essential. Whether you use them or not, you may need them one day.
Hey, we're just pulling out of the port here in Massett this morning. Stopped in and got a fishing license before we headed out, just in case we get a chance to do a little halibut fishing, maybe a little salmon fishing too. Get lucky and get that bear early. That's what we're going to try. See something interesting up here. We got a big trawler that's sitting high and dry this morning. So Coast Guard's been running around here. We didn't know what they were up to, but finally saw that that's what they're doing. And they got this guy. I think one of these professionals wouldn't get stranded like this, but I guess anything bad can happen to anybody. Well, we just put the boat in the water right across this bay. We're idling out of the cove there and got a real good bear spotted over here. We don't know how good he is for sure yet, but we know he's worth getting closer to. We've circled around, got the wind in our favor, got a nice steady wind blowing right down the beach here. Tom's getting the boat tied up while I'm messing around, but we're gonna head over here and see if we can get a little closer. It's a good situation right now, so hopefully it'll pan out. Well, that bear's about a 5.5 foot bear. We thought it might be a 6 foot earlier, but he showed his true colors. He's not that big. And he won't come to deer call, so that means he's a little timid, not a mature boar, because usually the big boars will hammer it. So we're gonna let him walk, and we're gonna go find the big bear now. Just go farther up the coast here.
After spotting a bear just out of port, Rick and Tom were eager to pursue this bruin. But as the tide continued to fall and the stalk taking longer than planned, the once floating boat is now beached. With hours before the tide is to rise again, Rick and Tom decide to put some good old-fashioned engineering and some hard work to use in trying to get the boat back into the water.
Well, as you can see, we floated the boat. I think I reactivated my hernia. Tom threw out his back. Darn cameraman wouldn't do anything to help. So we got it done though. We got it floated. We're gonna go somewhere else. That's what happens when you come in and the tide gets a little higher and then it drops. We're going out at absolute low tide, but I think we can get out of here and run up and down the beach, see what we can find. There were a lot of bears in here, but a lot of smaller bears. We just didn't feel good about staying in here. We were going to camp the night, but just really didn't see the sign of any big boars, so we're going to get out and look at the beach again.
Knives and game processing kits for down the road with Rick Rhodes is provided by Outdoor Edge, the finest quality knives and tools for the big game hunter.
Molson Lake Lodge, with exclusive commercial access to over 250,000 acres of legendary waters. The Fett family can assure the Canadian fly-in fishing experience of your dreams. Enjoy the convenience of a full American plan at the main lodge, or venture out by float plane to an outpost cabin for a true trophy fishing experience. Molson Lake Lodge, where pure serenity to pure mayhem is one cast away. Backroads Outfitting specializes in providing only high-quality, high-success hunts for New Mexico elk and mule deer, Texas pronghorns, and Kansas and Oklahoma trophy whitetails. Come see for yourself why so many hunters return year after year to the exclusive private ranches of Backroads Outfitting. Visit backroads.com today and let success be your tradition. And we're back, down the road. Let's join Rick and his guide, Tom Goddard, as they've just spotted a nice bear in front of them.
We just rounded a corner, got a real nice boar up here in the road. Grabbed the bow out, took my boots off. We're gonna slip up the road and see if we can get on him. It looks like a really good shooter bear. Tempted to grab the rifle, but I'm Try the bow first.
As Rick silently closes the distance to the bear and settles in, guide Tom Goddard begins to make the blacktail fawn in distress call in hopes of luring in the curious Bruin. It's been a long time coming. Finally got to put an arrow in a bear here on the Queen Charlotte Islands. You know, we worked up this logging road. Couldn't have happened any better. I went ahead and moved ahead. The bear got around the corner on us. We couldn't see him. Just kind of lost the opportunity to actually stalk him. So we laid a plan, and man, it came together perfect. Tom stayed back and called. I moved up and got in a good position. Bear had no clue I was there. You know, I shot that bear at about 3 or 4 yards, I'd imagine. It wasn't more than 15 feet for sure. So, and that's why we came to the Queen Charlottes. That's why I came back. That's why we grabbed the bow and didn't bail out and take the gun. So, you know, man, if I didn't hit that bear good, something's wrong with me, because he was awfully close. We're gonna give him a little bit. Arrow blew all the way through. He's bleeding really good, but give him a little while, make sure, and see what we got. God, what a perfect scenario, and I couldn't let him walk. You know, I've worked hard. Tom's worked hard. Carl worked hard for us when we were up here last time. I've got my days in. We've had some good luck, some bad luck, and you know, this was just too good an opportunity not to take. And you know, we're pleasantly surprised when we get here. This is a really, really good bear. That's my first bear with a bow, believe it or not. Have to come this far.